Hey, this is Lazar from Onion Corporation. Today, we're going to go through the Quickstart guide for the new Omega2 Eval Boards. These Eval Boards are the new starting point for working with the Onion Omega2 modules and are designed to lower friction during onboarding, prototyping, and development. Let's dive in. Head to onion.io/get started and click on the Omega2 Eval Boards link. This will take you to the Quickstart guide on the new documentation site. So in this quick start, we're going to go over unboxing and power up, connecting to the command line over USB serial, connecting to Wi-Fi, and running a Hello World program. We'll start by unboxing the Omega2 Eval board. Take it out of the ESD protective bag that it comes in. Notice how the through-hole Omega2 is already plugged into the socket, meaning the pins are securely seated into the socket and not visible from the side. We'll also unbox the Omega2S Eval board so you can see what it looks like. Take it out of the ESD protective bag and notice how the surface mount Omega2S module is soldered down on this board. That's the key difference. For this video, let's use the Omega2 Eval board. We'll need a USB cable and a computer. Take one end of the cable and plug it into the USB-C port on the Eval board, and then plug the other end into your computer. Flick the power switch to turn on the Omega. You'll notice the amber status LED will turn on and then start flashing after a few seconds. When it stops flashing, that means the Omega has booted. This will take about a minute, maybe less. Now that the Omega has booted up, let's move on to the next step, connecting to the Omega's command line. Going back to the Quick Start guide and taking a look, we'll first need to install the USB to serial driver on the computer we're using. The guide has installation links for Mac, Windows, and Linux. We're using a Mac with the drivers already installed, so we'll go ahead with the next step, connecting to the Omega's command line. First, we'll look for the serial device name by checking the dev directory. So here it is. Then we'll use the screen command to connect to that serial device. When you've run the screen command, you'll notice a blank screen. Press enter to activate the terminal, and here we are. Next, we'll connect to our local Wi-Fi network. To start, we'll scan for available networks to make sure our network is detected. Copy the scan command to the Omega's terminal and run it. When the scan is done, it'll output a list of all available networks. There's a lot of networks here, so this list is long. I'm going to use the find function to quickly find our network, which is called Luke Sky Router. Let's move on to the next step to connect to our network by changing the wireless configuration. Follow the commands in the guide to first enable the wireless client interface, set the SSID or network name to Luke Sky Router. Don't forget to close the single quote here. Enter the password, which is I am your Wi-Fi, all one word. If your password or Wi-Fi network name uses a single quote, you can use double quotes here. The next command is to save the configuration, and then we're going to reset the Wi-Fi interface to try to connect to the network. This will take a few seconds, but we'll know we're connected when the APCLI0 link ready message comes up in the kernel logs. Let's double check our connection was successful. Click this button in the code block to copy the ifconfig APCLI0 command, run it, and we can confirm the Omega was given an IP address on the Wi-Fi network. Now we're confident we're connected and can try pinging a website to show off our internet connection. We're now on the very last and funnest step, running a Hello World program on the Omega. We'll use a Python program to blink the user programmable LED on the Eval board. On the Omega2 Eval board, the LED is connected to GPIO 15, while on the Omega2S Eval board, GPIO 43 is connected to the LED. Step 1 here is to install the prerequisites we'll need to run this program. Start by updating the OPKG package lists. And then move on to installing Python 3 Lite and the Python 3 GPIO module. Next, let's create the file to hold our program. Copy and run the touch command. And now we have a blank file called blink.py in the root directory. You can use the VI editor to open the file and populate it with the code from the website. There's a little step-by-step guide to using the VI editor if you're not familiar with it in the guide. Let's check back to see if we need to adjust the program. Since we're using the Omega2 Eval Board, no changes are required. Let's go ahead and run the program. Again, press the button in the code block to copy it and run it on your Omega. Check it out, the LED on the Eval board is blinking. This is an early prototype, so the LED is amber, but on your board, the LED will be blue. Okay, let's stop the program by pressing Ctrl+C on the command line. It gives us a suggestion on what to do next. Let's copy-paste the suggestion. Whoops, we're not in the root directory, so this command doesn't work. Let's go to the root directory and try again. Now the LED should blink on for 2 seconds and blink off for 3 seconds. Let's see. Check it out. Congrats, you've set up your Omega2 Eval board, accessed the command line, connected to Wi-Fi, and ran a Python program. Look at you go. Check out the documentation site for more reference info and ideas on what to do next. Happy hacking!